Good morning, dear students. Today we are continuing post-fertilization structure and events, in which endosperm. We knew that after the double fertilization gets over, that is the second male gamete in the pollen tube that enter into the embryo sac and reaches the central cell, where it is fuses with the polar nuclei and forms the primary endosperm nucleus. The secondary nucleus or the polar nuclei in the embryo sac, after fusion with the second male gamete in the pollen tube, it produces primary endosperm nucleus. The primary endosperm nucleus, which divides immediately after fertilization, but before the zygote start to divide to form endosperm. This primary endosperm nucleus is due to the result of triple fusion, that is, two polar nuclei in the embryo sac that fuses with one sperm nucleus in the pollen tube, and it produces a triploid number of chromosomes, that is 3n number of chromosomes in the primary endosperm nucleus. Remember, endosperm is act as a nutritive tissue and the regulatory structure that nourishes the developing embryo. Depending upon the mode of development, there are three types of endosperm are recognized in angiosperms. Depending upon the mode of development, there are three types of endosperms are recognized in angiosperms, namely nuclear endosperm, cellular endosperm, and helobial endosperm. Let us start. The first type of endosperm, nuclear endosperm. Nuclear endosperm, you are seeing the development of nuclear endosperm. You can see the primary endosperm nucleus in the first diagram, that is called PEN, which divides into two cells and forms number of cells. Finally, numerous cells which are found free. In the nuclear type of endosperm or the nuclear endosperm, the primary endosperm nucleus divides into two without any wall formation, that you can see in the second diagram in this picture, and the subsequent division of these two nuclei are free nuclei, that means without any wall formation. Free nuclei are formed repeatedly. So the endosperm consists of only free nuclei and cytoplasm around them. The nuclei may be either remain free or maybe get separated by forming walls in their lateral stages. Where does you can see this nuclear endosperm? You can see in Coccinea, Capsula brusa posteris, and Rachis hypogea. So in the case of nuclear endosperm, primary endosperm nucleus which divide into two without any wall formation, subsequent divisions also form free nuclei without wall formation. The next, cellular endosperm. cellular endosperm. In this type, the primary endosperm nucleus which is divided into two nuclei. The primary endosperm nucleus is divided into two nuclei, which immediately followed by wall formation. You can see in this picture, I am zooming out. You can see the first picture in the second row left, which I am making round. So this picture, you can see the primary endosperm nucleus is divided into two. You can see a common wall. Then the subsequent division will lead to the formation of many nuclei followed by walls. Hence, we call this type of endosperm as cellular endosperm. Cellular endosperm, which is seen in Adoxa, Helianthus anus, that is called sunflower, and Scoparia. Next, helobial endosperm. You can see the helobial endosperm. In helobial endosperm, in this type, the primary endosperm nucleus moves towards the base of the embryo sac. The primary endosperm nucleus which move to the base of the embryo sac, where it is divided into two nuclei. These two nuclei are separated by a wall to form a larger micropyla, which you can see, the larger micropyla, and a smaller chalazal chamber. So, the primary endosperm nucleus which move towards the base of the embryo sac, divided into two nuclei, and which forms a wall that separates the embryo sac into a larger micropylar chamber and a small chalazal chamber, which undergoes several free nuclear division. So the nucleus of micropylar chamber, that you can see, the micropylar chamber, this is the micropylar chamber. So the micropylar chamber of the helobial endosperm, in which the nuclei undergoes several free nuclear division, whereas in the chalazal chamber there is no such free nuclear division. So the nucleus of micropylar chamber undergoes several free nuclear division, whereas that of the chalazal chamber, the division may occur or may not be. This type of helobial endosperm is observed in Hydrilla water plant and Vallisneria. Generally, the endosperms may either completely consumed by the developing embryo, because it is a nutritive tissue for the embryo, or it may be persist in mature seeds. Persist means remain as it is. Those seeds without endosperms are called as non-endospermous seeds or ex-albuminous seeds. Example, pea, groundnut, beans. In these seeds, endosperm is generally absent, where the food is stored in cotyledons. Some seeds in which endosperms remain or persist are called as endospermous seeds or albuminous seeds, because endosperm in these seeds supply nutrition to the embryo during the seed development. This type of condition is observed in paddy, coconut and castor. Paddy, coconut and castor are the very good example for the endospermous seeds or albuminous seeds. Next, another important type, that is called ruminate endosperm. The ruminant endosperm, which shows irregularity and unevenness in its surface, which you can see the ruminant endosperm, forms ruminant endosperm. So endosperm which shows irregularity and unevenness in its surface forms ruminant endosperm. Ruminant endosperm is observed in Areca catechu, betel nut you say. The activity of the seed coat or endosperm itself results in this ruminant type of endosperm. The unequal radial elongation of the seed in which the layer and the seed coat results in rumination of endosperm, which is seen in Passiflora. In the family Annonaceae and Aristolochiaceae, definite ingrowth and infolding of the seed which produces ruminate endosperm. So ruminate endosperm is mainly due to the irregularity and unevenness which form its surface. It is mainly due to the activity of seed coat or endosperm itself. The unequal radial elongation of the layer of seed coat which results in rumination of endosperm in Passiflora, whereas in the Annonaceae and the Aristolochiaceae, definite growth, that is ingrowth or infolding of the seed coat which produces ruminate endosperm. The irregular surface of the seed coat makes endosperm is ruminate in Myristica. So ruminate endosperm is observed in Areca catechu, Passiflora and Myristica. Next, functions of endosperm. Functions of endosperm. As we knew that endosperm is the nutritive tissue for the developing embryo. In most of the angiosperms, the zygote which divides only after the development of endosperm. Endosperm which regulates the precise mode of embryo development. In other case, endosperm hastoria. It is an interesting feature of the endosperm is the presence of hastoria. In the case of helobial endosperm and the chalazel endosperm, helobial endosperm, the chalazel chamber itself acts as a hastorial structures. In cellular endosperm and nucellular endosperm, the special structures are produced towards a micropylar, chalazel, and both micropylar and chalazel, which may be in the lateral direction depending upon the species. These absorb nutrient from other outer tissue or from ovary tissue and supply them to the growing embryo. Dear student, up to this endosperm and types of endosperm is over. Let us see in the next class. Thank you.